Listening, TLR. Listening, TLR.
Doing more integration in terms of the technology. Again, as I said, such as wearing it on our head, on our faces, around our necks, on our clothes, on our hands, on our feet, on our overall body. That's what I think it's going to be, instead of just simply having a regular basic cell phone in our hands. Because as you see, like the foldables getting popular, it's just a way to pack more and carry it on us. So we will be definitely wearing more and more tech on us as we go along, as moving on in the future. The first iterations that I'm seeing more and more is like wearable watches, such as the Samsung Galaxy watches. The different variants of that one are Apple Series watches, stuff like that. So watches are more common. It's a far more common wearable than say glasses are. So the other type that I'm seeing coming along is VR headsets, stuff like that, creating that virtual reality over our faces. So those things will be coming more and more as time goes by. The thing about it, why it's not in every household yet, is that that application or usability that will allow for everyone to use it hasn't started yet. But I think that we aren't far away from that. So it's very important that we take my job is to take us in that direction and show, so everyone can have an idea what's coming. Pretty much, if you follow me, TLR, you will definitely see what we have coming in terms of that. So I'll be taking a much more closer look in it. We will be definitely talking about some more. I'm gonna ramble on a little bit about especially wearable technologies, and I'm gonna focus a little bit more on the watches, because the thing about it is the data. Pretty much, we as human beings, we always have what we drop things, or we are shedding everywhere. Pretty much, we leave a bit ourselves everywhere we go. And what wearable technology will do for us, for the companies that will be investing their money in it, for the many people and the industry that's coming, pretty much, is the information that will be definitely important for these people and us as well as the end users. Your body give a lot of information off every day. I mean, just having your phone in your pocket, you dump in a lot of information to a lot of these companies. So, for example, your location tracking and stuff like that tells a company a lot about what you do. You're sharing your pictures, your videos, your thoughts, stuff like that. We are dumping information in the World Wide Web every day. Every day we are doing, and companies are taking money, and they're spending a lot of money for that information because they can do a lot with it. We don't understand clearly because it's not being talked about a lot, but yeah, they're making a lot of money on the information that we dropping off, shedding here and there. Again, because every move we make, everything we do is always being recorded. Wearable technology takes that on a whole new level, right? Takes it on a whole new level to where we eat is recording, or in what's going on the inside of our bodies is being recording. Your heart rate, your heartbeat, stuff like that, your body mass index and all that stuff. It's wearable technology will go in us and give that information out to the various companies. That's why I want to talk about it, because we're not just dumping the outside information of what we're doing. We also gonna these watches and stuff like that. They are giving information on what's going on the inside of our bodies. The wearable, the VR headset, wearing that on our faces, that will start to take us, or having the ability to take us out of this world and create a new reality that we can interact and then work in and stuff like that. So it's very important. So again, on one hand, you have the wearable watches that are taking information from the inside of our bodies to the outside world for us to use and to interact with, for companies to hold that information on us. And we have virtual reality that we're in over our faces that take our sight and our hearing and creating a new reality for us to interact and work in. So again, it's just a whole new level of data, a whole new level of things to explore, to talk about, and all that stuff. So what do I think? How do I think that it's going to affect us in the future? On one hand, it's going to be better for us On one hand, it's going to be better for us to get those additional data, especially on what's going on the inside of our bodies. So we can find out early, especially for health and stuff like that. The other thing that we can find out, we can have an idea. We have more information to react or to move on earlier before certain things get too late. So again, that's generally in respect to health information and stuff like that. The other type of information is in terms of fitness. It'll share a lot of information in terms of our fitness, our abilities, and what we can do and stuff like that. So when we get those information, then we'll know what to do. Also, not just knowing what to do, but we can also use that information to enhance our experience, using these type of technology. On the other hand, for companies, is actually taking that information and using it in such a way that can have a possibility of negatively impacting us. So it's just a lot to talk about on both sides. For the virtual headset, for the virtual reality or headset stuff, on one hand, it create an alternative environment, an alternative reality for us to take a step into, where we can interact with each other, work with each other, we can play games in it, and give you that real feel perspective, and a new perspective, rather than we sitting watching an image on a screen and interacting with a flat image on a screen, on a flat screen, pretty much. Virtual reality, it does take that up to a new level. As I myself have tried it, tested out, it's a very different way to interact with people online and stuff like that. In some situations, it is really different. It's actually better. You can go to the movies in virtual reality and enjoy. I mean, people will take it as it is, but I say everyone should give it a try, see what it is like, stuff like that, interact with it, playing the games, interacting with friends, talking to each other in chat rooms and stuff like that. There's so much to dig into, so much to explore. Companies, based on what I'm looking to in my research that I'm reading, is companies actually using it for like a virtual office rooms. I mean, the possibilities are endless. They're using it also to create, for example, I know there are companies like there are certain car companies creating 3D designs so they can actually see how a car would look like when they develop a car. They can interact with it, they can open the door, stuff like that. So that's upping the experience that these designers have. Instead of just interacting on an AutoCAD, 3D AutoCAD on a flat screen, they can actually experience a 3D first hand of what that car is. They can start it up in that world, they can drive it in that world and stuff like that. So wearables are coming, and they will be here to stay for a long time. And even if you are in a situation where you haven't owned a wearable technology as yet, that time will come pretty much. That time will come to where you start to interact. For example, if say you start having a certain health issue, then you start to wear a watch that can give you a heart rate and stuff like that. So that time will come when more and more of us will be interacting with these wearable technologies. Also, for future technologies with augmented reality, you wear certain glasses. Those glasses pretty much can augment virtual reality into real reality. So another name for it would be like mixed reality, stuff like that. So it's just freaking crazy how these wearable technologies, how are they coming, and how can you interact. For example, in terms of mixed reality coming in the future, pretty much you're gonna see they're talking about certain glasses you can wear. So if you're baking, say, a cake, you can have the information that pop up right in your view. Or say you're building or fixing doing a repair on your house, you can the glasses will interact based on what you are doing. You can augment you replacing or putting a new part, again based on what type of repairs you are making around the house. So all that stuff is coming. And again, at some point, as I say, we all will be integrating more and more with technology. It's just wearables are the beginning of what to expect. So look out for that stuff. So the first two, why I'm talking about wearables in terms of the watches and virtual headsets and stuff like that first, is because those two things are what makes sense now, because technology is not something that you can rush because it won't sell. If it's not applicable, then it won't sell at all. So for the watches, there's a lot of health information for the health gurus, fitness, people who track their fitness all the time. The watches and stuff like that make sense. So expect more wearable watches and all that stuff. more and more people will be integrating. And as I say, the cell phone market is already matured way beyond what else you can do with a cell phone. It does give a lot of information, but companies are putting way more money into wearable tech so they can get all that stuff and sell it to you and make more money based on more information that you have. Wearables take that information from the outside and put it out there rather than just a regular simple cell phone that you're just walking around or lugging around in your pocket. Sorry guys, I have a little cold. But yeah, so it's here. It's just getting started within the last few years, and it will be here. It's not 100% mainstream as yet, but it will be here to stay. And at some point, you will have to make that cash drop into it. You know, for example, you have your Ring doorbell. Maybe one day you can pull up your Ring doorbell on your watch. If you can't have your phone, or you can be in the shower with your watch on, with your say your Galaxy Watch or your Apple Watch, and you can look in the shower and see who's at your front door. I mean, you can do that with your cell phone, but the watch doesn't take up your hand space like your cell phone. So yeah, it's really crazy how it's coming, and I'm not even mentioning technology on the inside, because for some folk, the inside of the body, because you have wearable technologies that can also be worn in the clothing and on the inside of the body. And if you really think about it, wearable technologies has been around for a long time in terms of for spying and all that type of stuff. They do that type of stuff where they wear the cameras or integrate the cameras inside of a specific fabric of clothing. That way you can conceal it better and stuff like that. But that was just for a very small, intricate side of society that actually do all that stuff. We, on the regular part of it, the average common Joe or Jonah or Joanna, you know, we will start a little bit different from that. Again, we're starting with the watches and stuff. Wearable technology is also earphones and all that stuff. I mean, we've been wearing headphones for a long time, but it's just that the level of technology that has been introduced into it has changed over the time. So on that show that's coming, it will dive deeper into the history. Hold on a second. So what I will be talking about, hold on a second, let me check my notes. So we'll be talking about is what it is, as I just talked about. If you can pull this up right here, what it is, a brief history, examples, and then I'll be fine-tuning on the watches and the VR headsets. The name of the companies that I'll be talking about. Yep. And the VR headsets, definitely be talking about that too. So, yep.
Listening, listening.